Draymond Green was on with Jalen and Jacoby earlier this week on the TV show in the afternoon, and he was asked about the Warriors' motivation to win another championship without KD. Here's what he said.
We're always motivated to, try to win championships, whether that's with KD or whether it's not. There's no added motivation, with him leaving. We're competitors, we're champions, and we're going to continue to try to raise our level of play to that level in order to finish what we started. That started before KD, so it's not like, we need to kind of rally around this whole notion of KD's not here anymore. Like, we know what it takes to win a championship, and that's what we're going to rally around.
Draymond Green said there's no added motivation to win without KD. Stephen A. Smith, do you believe that?
I completely believe that because they won a championship and went to back-to-back NBA Finals before KD ever arrived in Golden State. So I think there's a strong level of legitimacy to Draymond Green's argument. But I also want to add the greater motivation will be what transpired this season. They were 15-50 at the time that the season stopped, that it was suspended. Okay, we know that's not the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant was gone, but Klay Thompson was gone, and Steph Curry was out for a chunk of time. If Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were there, do you really, really believe that the Golden State Warriors would have been 15-50? A matter of fact, I wouldn't go to the extreme and reverse it, but I would tell you in those first 65 games, it's not beyond the realm of comprehension that there would have been at least a 20-game difference, possibly a 25-game difference, and if Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were together. This is the greatest shooting backcourt in the history of basketball. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Klay Thompson is a top 5 shooter of all time. He is in the discussion to be a top 2 shooter of all time because that's how lethal of a marksman, a sniper that he is. So again, I would tell you that I don't think that KD needs to be the motivation because I think that they know they're contenders without KD, maybe not champions, but clearly contenders. And if they don't have KD, they'll get another piece. You add another piece to a healthy Steph and Klay, they are right back in the championship picture because they are as a backcourt. The Splash Brothers is the collection of the greatest snipers, the greatest shooting backcourt in the history of basketball. There is no question about that.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with them being great. But I don't agree that they will not be keeping a very close eye on each other, the Warriors and Kevin Durant, in the same way that I believe Tom Brady and Bill Belichick will be keeping a very close eye on each other. And I think in particular, Kevin Durant has extraordinary motivation to legitimize, if you will, the 2 championship rings that he is wearing by winning one without those guys.
Well, first of all, see, Greeny, you pulled the Max Kellerman there. You tried to switch the narrative. You asked me about Draymond Green and how the Golden State Warriors
I think they feel the same way.
I know
KD.
Particularly
Draymond feels the same way.
There's no way. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not even close because Kevin Durant never captured the championship until he arrived in Golden State. And even in the 3 years that they went to the finals and the back-to-back titles that they won, even though he was the NBA Finals MVP, averaging 30 on better than 50% shooting from both the field and three-point range, the reality is that he never won until he got to Golden State. So having the Splash Brothers as his teammates definitely helped. They won before he arrived. He did not win until he arrived.
Yeah.
It's 2 different scenarios, Greeny. You're wrong here.
You know what? They won when LeBron single-handedly took them 6 games in the finals. If Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are healthy that year, do the Cavaliers beat them the way they did the next year when they had 73 wins?
Well, no, I don't think so. But you got to remember, you're talking to somebody that would remind you that if it wasn't for the stimulus package that the NBA gave LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers by suspending Draymond Green for that Game 5, remember that game that he got suspended, Andrew Bogut got hurt in that game. So did Andre Iguodala. And if Andre Iguodala hadn't been hurt for the rest of the series, they might have still won. Even though he played in Game 7, he was clearly hobbled and had been missed Games 5 and 6. So we can't forget that. Also, you have to pay attention attention to the fact that, again, we're talking about Kevin Durant, who had not won until he got to Golden State. And even though Golden State, you could question whether or not they would have won the title, they still got to back-to-back NBA Finals. Kevin Durant was in OKC. They got to the finals in 2012, and then he hadn't been back to the finals until he arrived in Golden State. There are two different scenarios. I think Kevin Durant is one of the top 2 players on the planet Earth when healthy, might be number 1 because he's that lethal. But there is no question that his situation is entirely different than that of the rest of the Golden State Warriors, who were there winning championships or winning a championship and getting to the finals twice before he ever arrived. Those are not equitable situations. You can't compare the two.
Maybe not in the eyes of the public, but maybe in the eyes of the individuals. In that interview, Draymond Green used the words KD or mentioned KD like over and over and over again and kept repeating over and over again, we won without him, we won without him. I think that is important to them and to him. I only have a second. I can't.
I think it's important to Kevin Durant, but not them.
Okay. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.